So welcome to this video. In this video we are going to deal about overheads. So first we'll see like what is overheads. See, overheads is the other expenses, okay, apart from direct material. So we have direct material as a cost. We have direct labor, and then we have direct expense. Okay, so we have all these expenses here. So these expenses are like captured in the are like directly visible to the to find out the cost of a product. For example, if you're going to manufacture a shirt, so direct material would be the cloth, direct labor would be the tailor expense, and direct expense would be something like the royalty which we could have paid for any emblem that we use in the shirt. For example, if you are going to manufacture a shirt for Allen Solly or something, we have to pay for the Allen Solly brand for each shirt that we are using. So these are the direct uh, expenses, okay, a direct cost. Okay, so these would be like captured in the heading called as prime cost. So you would have seen this in the cost sheet. So but there are some other expenses. So other expenses could be like uh, what to say, like production expenses or non-production expenses, administration expense. Okay, these expenses are there. Sometimes what happens is, okay, assume that you take a production expense. Sometimes you know that production expense, okay, for example, a production expense is for a particular machine, okay, is for a particular machine, and that machine produces only shirts. See, now the expense which is spent for that machine, for example, some maintenance cost is only for the shirts. It's only for that particular shirts. So here what you can do is you can 100%, if that maintenance cost is for particularly for that shirts, okay, for only manufacturing shirts, then you can allocate that 100% of that machine maintenance cost to the shirts. So it is called as allocation. Okay, it's called as allocation. So you would see here the expense benefit of a single department and it's charged there. Okay, so there is production department and there is a machine. That machine manufactures shirt, and that machine maintenance requires some kind of maintenance. So 100% of that machine is used only for the shirt. That means it's called as allocation. So fully that amount would be charged to the production of the shirt, right? There's something called as an appropriation. Okay, what is something called as an apportionment. What is apportionment? So for example, in same production, we might be incurring some rent. Okay, we might be incurring some rent, but and there is a machine, okay, there are some two machines, so which are like in that rented place. So one machine manufactures shirt and the other machine manufactures pants. Now we want to know what's the cost of the rent, okay, for the purpose of producing shirts. So each machine is like 50% are occupying that area. So whatever the rent is, only 50% of it would come to the shirts. Okay, so this is called as apportionment. This is called as apportionment. And last one is reapportionment. So reapportionment is, assume there's a canteen. Okay, so canteen is a service department. This canteen department, okay, would have its own expenses. So this expense, okay, would have to be like transferred to the particular departments. For example, production department might have some employees who go to the canteen and have their food. Okay, so So canteen is a service department, and they provide food for the production department staff. Okay, so production department staff, as they go and eat there, they are incurring some cost from the canteen department here. So how many ever number of employees go and eat there, okay, that should be proportionally charged to the production department. Okay, something like 10% of the total employees are production employees, and all of them are eating at the canteen. So 10% of the canteen expense goes to the production department, and this production cost, okay, this 10% of production department cost of eating at canteen, okay, that has to be again reapportioned to the cost of making the shirt. Okay, so this is called as reapportionment, right? This is called as reapportionment. So any service center cost, okay, which are split into the production department cost, okay, is called as reapportionment. Okay, again because why it is called reapportionment is we are have to once again like reapportion the production department cost on some basis to the shirt or to the pant. Okay, so you can look here. Apportionment here refers to the expense or benefit, the expenses or comma benefits more than one department, and it's on the basis of the proportionate usage. So when we are going to proportionately divide the cost, it's called as apportionment. Reapportionment refers to the expense of service department have to be allocated towards the production departments or on the basis of proportionate usage. Okay, so on some proportionate basis it has to go from canteen expense to the production department expense. Okay, so how can we first, like, there are two things here. Okay, there are two things that we have to work out here. One is this kind of a split, okay, where this allocation and apportionment is called as primary distribution, and the reapportionment is called as secondary distribution. Okay, so first we look at the primary distribution and how it is being done. Once we know that, then we can go for the secondary distribution of reallocating the cost from the service center to the cost center. Okay, so we'll start. So allocation is not a problem because we 100% know that a particular expense is for a particular department. So allocation is not, usually it's a very straightforward method of solving it. But apportionment has some basis. Okay, so how can we divide here? For example, in the rental production, okay, in the production center, the rental cost is split based upon two machines, I said. Each machine is of equal size, I said. Okay, they occupy the same equal area. So we have divided on the basis of the size of the machine, okay, or the area that they occupy. So we are going to split the rental cost as 50-50. Okay, how can we then split other expenses? So you could see here, rent can be split on floor space occupied by each department, repair to plant, okay, or department, or depreciation on office building. So this could be like divided on repair to plant, or depreciation could be divided on plant department value or any assets value. So depreciation of office building, that could be divided on the basis of floor space occupied by each department. Okay, so if there are 5 departments occupying a building, we have to divide the entire depreciation cost based upon the percentage of occupation by each department. If there's any legal fee involved by the companies, that has to be divided on the basis of number of cases handled basis. Okay, so in each department we can't say like that. For salaries of common staff, okay, ratio of salaries of departments as a basis. Or for example, power can be divided on the basis of horsepower of machine in each department. Or fire insurance value of stock in each department, indirect labor cost, total hours of work in every department, okay, or transport cost, number of boxes, containers, or weight of containers, hours of spending vehicle in any department, okay. So you could see here, for every cost there is some logical basis.